Virtus in Veritate. Welcome to Fortikast, the official broadcasting arm of Paris Northfield's.
Welcome to Fortikast, the official broadcasting arm of Parif Northfield's official school publication, Fortibus. Sharing good vibes with the Northfield community every time we go live. Please welcome your host, for now, Mr. Francis Perez. So, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat and welcome, dear Forty viewers, to the very first episode of Forticast in 2023. So, unfortunately, my co-host Jello Estrella, hopefully he gets connected back as soon as he can. So, I hope you're doing well and that you've been fine. You've enjoyed your Christmas break and you've already had a few weeks getting back into the second term. So in fact, the second term is about to end next week. So I'm sure a lot of you are catching up on your PTs, essays, whatever's, and it's still English month. So I think my co-host is back. Jello, are you there? All
Hi
right,
guys.
welcome back, Jello.
Hello
Yeah,
sir.
no worries.
Uh,
That's
Gosh
fine. I
sir.
took over.
Yes sir.
So
Thank you
I'll,
sir.
I'll I'll continue first. So you might be wondering why the moderator Forticast is hosting this episode with such a new and clean face here kasi kakahugas lang daw ng mukha niya. We will be talking about the 5 past Forticast episodes and our key takeaways from them. So what better way to start again Forticast than to host with this guy right here? So care
That's
to
me.
introduce yourself, Jello?
Hi guys. My name is Jella Australia, and I am one of the 5 new members of Fortikast. This is
All right.
very exciting. I'm very
Exciting
nervous.
ba,
I'm
Jello?
shaking. Yes
Ano
sir.
bang can you tell us more about yourself? What do you do and how are you involved in the different things that are happening in Northfield and even outside Northfield?
Um. Well, I am a grade 10 student of Northfield. I'm also the co-captain of Vinta. Go
Nice
Vinta!
naman.
Yes, sir.
Shucks, anchor ako eh.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
well, sir.
Anyway,
Well,
no fighting here. But
yes, sir.
you were in the Interparif too, right? I mean, how was that for
Yes,
you?
sir. Well, it was a very good experience. We went to Cebu. That's my first time
Yeah.
going to Cebu. We've
Ah,
met,
really?
yes, sir. We've met other fire schools that are very competitive. Yes, sir.
So your inner goof self lumabas yung pagka-competitiveness mo doon sa
Yes, sir. I was
Interparif.
very serious there.
So I suppose you can't wait for Family Day kasi as we have heard, I think magkakaroon na ng face-to-face the Family Day this March, Sports Fest, and I mean even next month we already have the father and son. So I hope most of the Northfield guys will be able to enjoy that. Are you going there, Jello?
Um, it's not final yet, sir, but I think I'm gonna go, sir.
Okay, sige. So before we continue, I'll just read a few comments, no? So from my student in grade 2, Pio. Hi there. Nice to see you, Pio. And we have here from Turtle Pro, Woo. Why? So if you want to introduce yourself by commenting again who you are, Turtle Pro, but no worries. So yeah, let's get on with it. Jello. So I'm really
Sir.
happy that we grew in Forticast and I'm excited for what's to come as we move on now to our very first segment of this episode, the In Focus.
So, for today's episode, we will be taking a trip down memory lane looking back at the past episodes of Fortikast.
All right, so without further ado, let us welcome our guest, our very own host and staff member of Forticast, Lucas Lamzon, Miggy Lopez, Kobe Camaso, and Inigo Tobias. Welcome back, guys, to Forticast. How have you been doing? Wala na, tiningan lang. Magsalita naman kayo. How are you guys?
Well,
Anyone want
sir,
to
I
share?
I just got over my laughter for the intro.
Yeah, I mean, no comment. But anyway, how about you, Lucas?
I'm good. I finished. I'm almost done with all my homework. I just need one more, the storytelling. Then I'm done, and then I can
Yeah,
rest for the whole week.
you can
But
rest. So
I'm
you
good.
have a plan sa weekend?
Yes, lantaka, cause
Oh,
why
lanta.
not?
Because why not? Okay. How about you, Kobe?
Uh, yeah, the week has been very, very hectic, especially with all the English month requirements. But we're here, and Forticast is a great way to cap off our week.
Alright. Sige. And then si Inigo, who still has a
Well,
Christmas
for
tree.
me, yeah, I still have a Christmas tree, and yeah, it's been also very busy for me during this past. This week, it's been really busy, and yeah, kapit lang, and yeah, I'm almost done with my homework too.
Hmm. Di ba, Jello?
Nice,
Hashtag
nice.
kapit lang.
Yes, sir. So, I think we'll go to our questions already. Yes.
Ah,
So,
game na kayo. So for the many
are you guys
questions we
good?
have in
Guys
store,
ready?
because again, why are we doing this, Jello? What is this episode for?
We are looking back to the past episodes of Forticast, the past 5 episodes of Forticast.
Yeah,
So,
thus we call it the 40 cap. So maybe you want to
Forticast.
start, Jello, with our first question.
Yes, sir. Start off, I would like to ask, what was the reason you joined Forticast? Did you join to improve one of your skills, let's say your public speaking, or did you just want to start a new hobby? Let's start with Miggy Lopez.
Uh, well, um, first and foremost, academic points. But aside from that, uh, since what do you call that? I am the moderator for the Northfield Esports Club. We used to have these like tournaments, and we'd stream them. Uh, I'd usually commentate during those streams, but it was really bad. So I thought it would be interesting to maybe improve or something, whatever. I don't know. That was about it.
But this is the first time you're actually on the show, right? So this is your first time talking and experiencing it. So far
Yes.
ba anong nararamdaman mo?
Uh, I'm currently trying to think how many people am I embarrassing myself in front of at the moment.
Well, at least now you have five in front of you. No, I'm kidding. But always,
Oh,
there's always a new experience, diba, every time. I mean, the very first time I also talked in front of, I mean, this is just online, but compared to actually doing it on site is another thing, which at least some of you have already experienced when we had the JCL episode. Yeah. Anything else to add, Miggy?
Not nothing.
Mm. How about you, Kobe?
Okay, so it actually started like all my and like everything related to Forticast started like last year because I had this thing. I wanted to do it for fun. I had like this online show that I streamed on Twitch every like 6 p.m. on Friday. It would just be like me and my friends. We would talk about like different topics and stuff. And then it in one SEB meeting, Alvaro Cordero and Angelo Boncan like they were like talking about Forticast because there I believe there were like some problems or something, and they were like encouraging me to join Forticast in the next school year. And at that time, I didn't really want to join Forticast because it seemed because I was part of Forti Crew last year, so I got to see like the behind the scenes stuff. Like I got to find out what a praxis was, and all of these details, and it felt very like not exactly scripted, but we felt a bit stuck to like a certain format. Like we weren't allowed to like just free flow talk type thing. And so I didn't really want to join Forticast. Then came this school year, Mr. Yasai approached me like somewhere around September, I believe.
Yeah.
And he told me that I was recommended by like some teachers and like the whole
Nice.
thing is like hallucination now. And I'm somehow now here in Forticast. So when he asked me and when I actually did the signing up and all that, I that was the time that I actually begun thinking, why should I join this? What would I benefit from actually joining this whole Forticast thing? Then I thought about public speaking first off, because in SEB we have like uh programs and stuff, and sometimes we are tasked to speak in those programs. So I thought it would be a great way to improve my public speaking skills and also my impromptu speaking skills and also socializing by meeting new guests per episodes. So yeah, that's all
Hmm.
for me.
So how is that for you so far since you joined? Actually, you said you joined from the time you were part of 40 crew and then until now, all the way until now. Do you think you've picked up a lot?
Yes, no, definitely. I've definitely like improved. If I mean for our 40 viewers, if you guys look at our past episodes, I mean at least for us like the crew, we noticed this because we were the ones that actually went through all these little things that viewers might not even notice. So yeah.
Hmm. Thank you, Kobe. Well, yeah, Jello, go.
How about you, Lucas Lamzon, my fellow classmate from grade 10?
Uh, it's more or less like the same as Kobe, but a bit different. I learned about Forticast because of Lucas Bonifacio, former SEB president. And then I would just see it on Facebook, like, oh, more or less the same, yeah. I would just see it on Facebook, like, oh, this looks fun. Then I watched I watched an episode. I forgot which one, and then I felt like, oh, this is actually a good thing because when I'm in college, I can put it in my application that I was in a talk show, and that could give me bonus points or whatever. But then I also thought, now I'm also in grade 10 that I also have public speaking that could also help me in public speaking. So then I also did that. And then later on, there were also, when the clubs were being made, I offered to be a moderator. So when I joined Forticast, that helped me as a moderator because I was leading students closer to God, because my club is Northfield Service Society. So that helped me to to teach students about God. And basically, I also wasn't confident enough to talk to other people, to socialize. But then, when I got to Forticast, I became more chill in a way. Like now, I can talk to people without being so scared. I can talk to people more calmly, and Forticast has been a true blessing, and I'm still learning a lot on the way. So yeah, that's all from me.
Interesting. Ikaw,
Interesting,
Jello.
interesting.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, why did you join
Me,
Forticast?
sir.
Yeah, of course.
Why did I join
Yeah.
Forticast? Oh, well, like what Lucas Lamsod said, it's a little bit the same, but a little bit different. Like Miguel Lopez's reason. Actually, it was the last club I think that was available for me. So
So we're the last
here
pick.
I
I see, I
asked
see.
for that.
I'm
Yes, sir.
kidding.
And yeah, I thought I could improve my say hosting skills too. And yeah, that's it, sir.
Yeah. Well, we're about to find out, but I mean, I'm glad
Oh no.
we're where we are right now. I think this is a good start, no. Let me share you a bit of my own story when I joined Fortibus, because you know that Forticast evolved from Fortibus. In fact, I remember that day that the moderator who was chosen to be moderator of Fortibus, and this was 10 years ago. Can you imagine? Just randomly went
Wow.
to our classroom when I was grade 8, and he said, who wants to join Fortibus? That was it. As in, I had no interest. The clubs yet were not developed. And the clubs then were not as sophisticated or as many as the clubs that you have now. In fact, we didn't even have student moderators then. It was all teachers helping out with the students. But with you guys leading the clubs, I think that's a very good initiative for you to help you step up. So I mean, then when I was part of Fortibus, and then I had more opportunities to write. So hopefully we can restore that in terms of Forticast, because I like majority of your answers, especially that this is a venue for you to grow in public speaking, to grow in new things that you haven't tried before, and to get out of your comfort zone. I myself, I'm still, I feel a bit sheltered still, especially that we're still doing this online. But come to think of it, uh, remembering what my moderator then said 10 years ago, that Fortibus is not just writing, it's not just a newspaper, it's not just broadcasting right now, but it's also a venue for student leadership. So I hope we'll be able to carry that out as well for your own sake, your personal growth and development. So I think that's the best way to start off this not really interview. Like what I said, kwentuhan lang to. So I think we can now go on to the next item on the list. So I'm sure naman most of you guys, uh, I hope most of you guys saw the QC campus at least, or maybe heard of it. Can you guys share in relation to the episode we had, the first episode we had in this school year, which was the 28th Foundation Day, right? 28th, no? Um, your memories from the old campus compared to the ones now. Because, like, for example, I'm starting to see some of my students tuning in, like Jordy. Hello, Jordy. And even Mr. Fernandez is watching. So I think some people here who are younger and have not seen the QC campus, the old and original, well, not really original because we started in a different area pa. But for the longest time, we were in Scout Gandia. I'm sure you had very memorable experiences there. So maybe I can ask Kobe to start sharing his memories from the old campus.
Okay, so this is like a very it's not exactly funny, but I'm certain that at least almost all Northfield students have experienced this. Like during dismissal, you'd see your kuyas in high school like playing basketball or maybe futsal or maybe frisbee. So every time I'd go around the court, I would always run because it's like a battlefield out there. You could get shot from
Di
any
ba?
from any corner. And I got hit like at least 10 times by different things like basketball, football, like frisbees. And another thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of us have experienced are the garbage trucks that would pass by during class.
Yun talaga
So
naalala mo, Kobe.
yes, yes, because the moment you open the door, it's like break time. You open the door, it's the first thing you smell. The entire school can smell.
Yeah, I mean it's a residential area too. So, but
Yes.
I remember, especially maybe Inigo would remember, or Miggy, is that there's this one person shouting our names, which has been passed on to the new campus in Antipolo every dismissal
I think
time. The very
No,
iconic, the very iconic who?
Mr. Enriquez. Mr.
Yeah, I think there's
Mr.
so many
Babana
memories there.
IR. Babana sa
Yeah,
kantina.
yeah. I mean that's really a good legacy naman, because I mean without him, no, baka 10 o'clock na kayo nakauwi. But anyway, so maybe I can ask Miggy this time. You were in the QC campus, di ba, for some time before we transferred to
Yes.
Antipolo?
I didn't finish a full year
Ah,
because I
really?
moved there grade 8 and then pandemic began towards the end of the year. Pero yeah, I think I got a pretty good idea. Although I'm sad that I missed out on yung student seminar. It got canceled on the morning of the seminar happening.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I remember a lot about the old campus, the canteens, the layout, all that. But I think the main connection between the current campus and the new campus or more of from that time to now that I find the most interesting are the students. It feels so strange seeing people who used to be in those red vests being in the high school floor now, or seeing the Encarnacion family looking like a time lapse of uh, Rafa growing up. It's it's nostalgic, especially like you mentioned before. Oh, the what's his name, Mr. Enrique, who would call people down. It's not something that I thought about while in the QC campus, but when I heard the names being called down in the new campus, like, oh, all right, that, you know.
All right, that. All right.
But yeah,
Mm.
old campus was nice. I do kind of miss it. Its location was convenient. It's a lot bigger. We had a full basketball court, a canteen, all that. But I will say,
Bigger.
I think so. Wasn't it bigger? Or is it smaller? I don't know.
Well, we're about to find out. I mean, maybe it looked bigger because it was it was
Wider.
structured in a different way. But I
It felt
forgot
like
to.
the new court doesn't feel like a full court. It feels like a little smaller than a full court, no? Or am I
It is
crazy?
it is it is
Well,
smaller
I
from what
think,
I heard.
yeah.
From what I heard, it is smaller. It's
Yeah.
smaller.
That
But
was
maybe something that you should be excited about when the pandemic is more relaxed are the facilities of Sun Valley, because yesterday I got to visit their sports plaza where they have a full length football field, a tennis court, a basketball court, etc. So hopefully we can regain our access to that, because pre-pandemic, when Northfield Sun Valley was still them and then QC,
oh,
they,
we're supposed to be able to use that.
they actually had PE there every week.
Oh,
So hopefully we can do that
so
in
what
the
are we
near
doing
future.
on a half painted basketball court?
Well, we're about
Painted
to
the
find
worst
out.
shade
But
of green that
okay,
I've
okay, going
seen.
back. Well, it's not yet done. Well, going back. Actually, it was one thing that Kobe pointed out, which is very nice. No, I mean, even if we were in the QC campus, we were still able to do a lot of different sports in the QC campus. We were able
Yeah.
to run more than a decade intrams. I mean, not sports fest, but still those different kinds of sports and other. Yeah. So
Oh,
look,
I think
yeah, go
one more
go.
thing that I really miss about the old QC campus though was since it wasn't in the middle of nowhere like Sun Valley is or now. And plus, since we didn't need to worry about the pandemic back then, students would go home much later in general. You know, if I wanted to stay at school a little longer, I could. I could play like board games with Sir Yu. I could stay in the court if I was bored. There's more time to do other things back in the QC campus. But now everyone like during dismissal, like about half an hour after dismissal, everyone's already gone.
Sorry,
Aside from that,
I'd just like to add that
Go go.
I at least now for our campus, it's not in that same area we're in. Nareklamo lahat ng mga katabi natin because of the traffic that Northfield causes. Because at least now the area that like has this quote traffic, it's all Northfield. So we are not bothering other people who are just
that's
going
true.
on about their days.
Not yet.
That's true.
No, I'm kidding. But anyway, yeah. Maybe we can go through some comments for now, because I think maraming bumabati dito, like from Tristan Pre. Hi Jello, even if Jello's not here. And then Turtle Pro sana all, like Lucas. And then from Santino, oh my god, it's Inigo. And then Turtle Pro, Inigo Tobias asked us to join. And then what else from Sir Fernandez? So what he misses the most about the QC campus is the oratory. But I think from what I heard, no, that's what they are going to work on after this school year ends. So hopefully we will have our new oratory soon. And then please proceed to gate 3. Okay. So bago tayo patuloy, Jello, do you have anything to share? Anything to add?
Um, well, I can say that since the old Northfield campus was a little smaller than Sun Valley now, I think everyone was always I mean, for me, everyone was talking to each other all the time. It was a very friendly environment for me, and I could just say hi from one end to the other, like from the canteen to the court. Hey, come here! You want to play basketball? Stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I experienced.
uh, Tsaka you know each other, di ba? I mean, all of us know each
Yes.
other, I think. Because even when I was about to graduate, I remember that for whatever reason, the grades 1 and 2, and I think some of you were the grades 1 and 2 then, are familiar faces up until now. So, it's just a matter of friendship. So, yun. Ikaw, Jello, you wanna go to our next question?
Okay. Our next question is. This is it's like a recap to the one of the episodes. I think this was a sci-fi, very good title.
Sci-fi.
What is the impact of math and science teachers in the world today? Who
Who
wants
wants to
to
start?
start?
Okay, go
Here you go,
Lucas.
Tobias.
I think uh for me, math and science, they're not really my favorite subjects, to be honest, but I mean they're really something that I can like utilize, in the future, when I grow up, when I become an adult. So I think, yeah, math and science, it's hard to learn, hard to study, especially the teachers who make it harder actually. Pero yeah, they also have a great impact towards us kasi for me, especially me, whose brain cannot really handle the information of math and science. I mean, the teachers can really, help us uh uh interpret it easier, and um yeah, will who really help us apply it in your life, and sana lang we really don't fail the tests. So yeah, shout out to Mr. Bukaya and Sir Koloma. Thank you for making math and science hard
Not fun?
Thank
Hard
you.
lang? Yeah. How about you, Miggy? Any
and
thoughts
fun.
on this?
Uh, well, I think sir, like not exactly the question, but I just want to note that I think what really makes a math or science teacher have a great impact on the student is not just like teaching style or difficulty or that, but I think it's the personal passion of that teacher. If they actually really enjoy teaching the topic and enjoy teaching in general, it leaves a much it leaves a much deeper imprint on their minds. And also it's those teachers with a lot of energy, what do you call that, it's easier to remember than a teacher who sounds bored and is droning on about the topic. That's
Hmm.
all.
So is that something relatable to you? I mean, I personally, because this is my first year of teaching, right? So I really have to bring out all the energy I have, even if there's so many things happening at the same time, wearing many hats at the same time. So I think it's just a matter also of maybe being a bit patient because, again, since we just transferred to Antipolo, all of us are still adjusting. So although I do remember, in particular with math, one of the topics that I really enjoyed the most was algebra, and thankfully, I was very thankful for my teacher in algebra, which was Mr. Arenas. So he taught us algebra, even if he was also my grade 1 math teacher. So I will never forget those lessons in which he imparted to me because they were not just, of course, math per se, but something that is actually practical in terms of, for example, never giving up when there are always problems piling up and again and again and again. But still, there's always solutions for things as long as you have the right mindset, the good intention. So there. I mean, anyone else who wanted to add? Maybe you, Jello. Maybe you have some.
I have.
Okay, go, Lucas.
Lucas Slamson.
I think the question was right. What is the impact of math and science teachers in the world today? I think yeah, what Miggy said, it's like the passion. Like I see it in the teachers, I see it in Sir Coloma, I see it in Sir Bukay, I see it in Sir Arenas, I see it in the math and science teacher group. They really have, and all the other subjects, not just math and science. They all have the passion to make sure that each and every student learns, and make sure that each and every student understands, and they all make it fun in a sort of way. Like, Sir Bokaya, right? Sir Bokaya always makes it fun. You can relate to him, and for me, he made math, like hard math topics, easy. And that really changed my perspective of math, because I thought at math, oh, if you're just gonna make my life hard, then I'll fail math, and I don't care anymore. That's what I thought at first. But then when I saw that Sir Bokaya, I saw the passion that they gave to make sure that each and every student learn. I learned that math isn't that hard. Maybe it was either me misunderstanding, or maybe I just wasn't uh, game for it. But the teachers talaga, they made it like, wow, they changed my whole perspective of it. So really, the impact that they have us to us can really change, you know. So yeah, and shout out to Mr. Bokaya, Mr. Coloma, and to the all the teachers who make our subjects fun.
Hmm. So,
I
have you ever thought? Sorry, I'll go, Kobe. You go
I just
first.
like to add like something very short lang naman. Yeah, I would agree with Lucas with everything he said about the passion of our teachers. And when learning topics in math and science, I don't know if it's just like me and my classmates that have this mentality of how will we apply this into our lives after school? Like, why do we need to learn such a hard topic if we're not if we're not gonna apply this in our lives? Well, from what I noticed, at least like the more we go on, math and science are not just about numbers and formulas and stuff like that. It teaches us way beyond that. And right now, actually, our topic is like something related to logic in math, and I'm like super confused. I couldn't understand a thing, but you know, uh, it's important as well to have trust in our teachers since they're gonna make sure that we understand everything in that topic, and they are going to help us to be able to strive through those topics.
Yeah. Actually, I like those things that you shared, you and Lucas, because I mean, you also have to consider that those teachers are also persons, and they also need a time to rest. I would even say the time to heal, because all of us really go through many struggles each and every day. So imagine if we place ourselves in their shoes, the hard time that their students give to them. I'm not accusing anyone, but I'm saying is always look at it from their perspective and ours as well, because that will help us develop further empathy. As you want them to empathize with us, we also have to give it back to them. So, I mean, they too go through the struggles of taking the shuttle going to Northfield back and forth. I mean, if it's not just a matter of getting to the drop off and pick up points, it's also from where they're coming from, their places of residence, or those who have decided to go all the way to Antipolo and bring their whatever transpo they use. So it's really, there's so many factors now. But the exciting thing about it is that if that did not stop them from teaching or being a part of Northfield, just as you guys did chose to follow through to with the transfer to Antipolo, then that says a lot about each and everyone's character right here and right now in this present and historic moment of transferring to Antipolo. So my question is now, how is that related to math and science? But anyway, I mean, see, I mean, even with such questions like this, you can actually pick up a lot of lessons that are more related, that are more directly related to your own personal growth, which is, after all, one of the things that we are fostering in general when it comes to Northfield. So, anyone else who wanted to add? No more? So, I think we can go to our next question, Jello. So, allow me to read it. Um, Yeah, I think this question has to do now with the episode we had in relation to that controversial statement by Senator Jingoy Estrada regarding, banning K-dramas and foreign kinds of entertainment in support of local entertainment. But since we had the discussion already and we came up with this question, why should the new generation, or right now, your generation, our present generation, be exposed to the art of other countries? And if not, why? So I'm sure we will have differing opinions here, but I think we will enjoy this exchange. I think I would like to throw that question as well to the people who are tuning in, because I see a lot of comments coming in as well. But first, I wanted to ask the person who thought of that question, which is Inigo.
To me, there's really nothing wrong naman with being exposed to foreign kinds of art in general and not just music kasi um it helps us develop also, like basic knowledge, like basic, you know basic knowledge on, let's say, K-pop. There are lots of K-pop fans in the Philippines na, and they're so into it na parang they even know the full names of the artists. They have like these I don't know what the cards are called, but they have these little small cards they put in sleeves, they put in binders, and they show it off and stuff. And yeah, I think the foreign fan base here, not just for K-pop or J-pop or any other type of music, the fan base here in the Philippines supporting, let's say, Mexican music, Hispanic music, is really big. Especially, it's not bad after all, naman. I mean, supporting foreign music also helps, especially up and coming artists. It helps them. It acts as an inspiration na parang, oh, this is cool in, let's say, this is cool in Japan, this is cool in Korea. I'll try to do this. So maybe the people here in the Philippines can know more about my music style or something like that. So yeah, it's really, to me, it's a learning experience for everyone talaga. Because we also get to know about the art and culture of different countries.
Interesting. So far, Jello, what comes into your mind after hearing those things from Inigo?
Um, interesting.
I mean, your own thoughts
Um,
about it.
oh, wow. Well, it is interesting. Thank you, Anigo, for that answer. Very interesting answer. What I think is, you know, if you like that type of music, you're being exposed to different kinds of cultures, culture appreciation of other countries. Maybe you want to be a UN ambassador. Now you know the new dance step to K-pop. So when you like meet the Korean ambassador, like 안녕하세요, yeah. So I think
I find it interesting how you took it, hindi naman that far, but the example you gave actually with, becoming an ambassador of this particular country, and then, yeah, I mean, the importance really of cultural formation for each one, right? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that are actually happening locally, but once you start going to other countries, or I mean, just online looking at their different ways, their different styles, there's so many things that you can actually make it a part of your life. I mean, you'd be surprised how things are actually interrelated, interconnected. And these are things that you also learn in your, even in, I remember this was even part of my Araling Panlipunan or in Hekasi, as we called it before. So, I mean, my personal take on it would be, um, just to give you a background, is that my siblings and I are all into music. Um, we all sing and then we play different instruments. Some of us are well rounded to the fact that they can actually record their own songs, playing all the instruments and singing them. And from what I've realized, when, for example, we're in the car going somewhere, we have a family gathering, etc., is that we really have different tastes in music. But even without, enforcing it or imposing it rather, to each other, except when someone requests that he would use the stereo of the car to play his music. I mean, we can just put on our earphones as well, but for some reason, we're not that uncomfortable when they, for example, my sister decides, sige, play EXO twice, whatever, 17, etc. I mean, she has been to 4 or 5 EXO concerts in the past how many years? And then I've accompanied my dad to watch U2 pre-pandemic with two of my other siblings. I mean, even if those are different bands from different generations or different decades already, for whatever reason, we get to appreciate the different kinds of music we've learned to love. I mean, I'm telling you this for the very first time. That when I started in Northfield, and then now getting to know people here in Forticast or people who are in high school, because as you know, I'm handling grade 2, so I have no direct way of dealing with high school students. And then now that I get to talk with you guys, with some of you at least, is that sabi ko sa sarili ko, fine. I have to immerse myself in the kind of music they listen to, in the things that they talk about, in sacrificing the sleep that I want just to stay up with them in Discord, etc. Because again, it helps me appreciate the culture or the kind of art that you guys appreciate. And that's how you start developing friendships. That's how you start appreciating other things that you may not be comfortable with or comfortable with rather at first. But then you say, oh, okay pala. Then my other friends who are of my generation or of my age start to question or at least inquire when I play those playlists that I've formed from your own likings, and they say, nakikinig ka pala sa ganyan? And then, or other people that I start talking with or I befriend with, and then they ask, what kind of music ba do you listen to? Sabi ko, that's very hard to answer. Because, again, I've learned how to appreciate different kinds of genre. I've learned how to appreciate different. I mean, it was my lord who taught me how to listen to Frank Sinatra, those kinds of classical music. I'm not bothered when I ride in the car with them and then they tune into that radio station na panay Beethoven or whatever, all the way to people who play EDM or whatever. So for me, that's no problem. I mean, that's how I try to appreciate music. And I remember making that resolution pre-pandemic that every month I would try to learn one new song, either to sing or to listen to or the lyrics. I mean, I really make it the point of reading the lyrics and understanding, because sometimes the artists themselves are the ones giving already explanations on those third-party websites where you can find lyrics of the song. So, I mean, yeah, I think that's my way of answering this question. But maybe I want to go now to Colby, because you have also a variety of things that you appreciate as well.
Yeah, well, what I'm about to say isn't exactly related to what you guys have been talking about. Because, well, I'd like to go back to the question, which is, um, why should the new generation be exposed to the art of other countries? So, for me, I mean, me as like in our generation, we are already like well exposed in different kinds of art and in like numerous countries. Because at one moment you could be listening to K-pop, at the other you could be listening to OPM or maybe Japanese music or yeah. So we are very well exposed. But why should we be exposed? To me, I think we can pick up something from the art of different countries, something that our own art, I wouldn't say lacking, but something that we don't have. And maybe like since we are the future of this world, uh maybe in the future these things that we picked up, we can apply it to our own and make it better. So yeah.
Interesting. Anyone else who wanted to add?
Interesting.
I have one. Um, like right now, the Philippines, as you can see in like most historical places, for example, Fort Santiago or other places, there's like Spanish influence, right? So the Philippines was under the influence of three countries, right? Japan, the US, and uh, so what's it called? Spain, right? So from those three countries, the Philippines was influenced by it. For example, this Spanish, all our buildings, like most of our government buildings, as you can see, it more or less has a Spanish design, right? So why again to go back to the question, why should the new generation be exposed to the art of other countries, and if not, why? I think we should be exposed to art of other countries. First of all, it can help that artist or help that country with its art, so it will be exposed to more people. Second, you can learn a thing or two about that country. So let's say this you listen to this type of music, then you can learn more about this type of country and all that. So that's one of my reasons why, because you might learn something new and you might be able to use it in the future, like how the Philippines again was influenced by those three countries.
That's a very historical approach there, Lucas. Which is good because again, we've been giving different takes on how we uh, went across this question. Right, yours is the historical approach. Kobe is, I think, a bit more practical. Mine was just practically cuento. So, uh, I don't know if Miggy or Inigo wanted to add because the next question is kind of packed, and I'm excited for Jel to read it.
The next question. Wait. What is? I'm just kidding. Wait. The next question is: why do people develop sportsmanship?
Wait, I
Oh,
switched up the question.
oh,
You
sir,
can
switch
read
up the
one of the three.
question.
Yeah,
Get
of course.
ready, guests.
Coming
Coming
from
from the recent para activities such as JCL and the Vinda Cup, why do you think we focus on family spirit and sportsmanship in our activities? Oh, you guys were not ready for that, huh? Who wants to go first?
actually, I was going to ask you if you wanted to
Oh,
go first.
me!
Yeah,
Oh no,
because
I'm not ready.
yeah, I mean, but you were there in the Vinta Cup. I mean, that's the exciting part of it.
Uh, okay, why do you think we focus on family spirit? Yeah.
Just share from the
Um,
heart. Nux.
well, I think family is very important, and if we see or if we have a family in our school, um, the school will be important too.
I think that's a very nice way to start it. I think Lucas wanted to add on to that.
Wait, I need to go back to the question. Coming from the recent PARF activities, I
Yeah.
think, for example, because I think that's what PARF is made on, like family. Like for you to be happy, you have to be like have a family and well, not in that kind of sense, if you know what I mean. But like we I think we focus on family spirit and sportsmanship. It's because we're trying to create good men and women, good character for men and women. So I think one of the best examples is like sportsmanship. Like for us in the Vinta Cup, it was so competitive, but in the end, everyone just congratulated each other, said, you did very well. I hope you can keep up with. I hope you can learn more, and let's play soon. So we were all very sportsmanlike in that, and on family because you start well, each and every one of us comes from a family, right? And I think Paref wants to strengthen up that relationship with family, because not all families are close to each other. Because like some when for example when parents have kids and their kids grow up and they all go away, what will happen now to the parents? What will happen to the family, right? So I think that's what Paref wants to do. They want to strengthen and the family spirit, you know like that's what I think that's what the Philippines is based on, like family, right? Like everywhere, like every party you go, there's family from here, there's family from there, there's like you for example family reunions, you wouldn't know that your classmate pala is your is your relative, right? Something like that. So I think again, I'm repeating myself because I want to make it clear that we focus on family spirit and sportsmanship so that we can all grow in good character. There, that's my explanation.
Naks. Mukhang pinaghandaan niyo tong pasabog ko, ah. So, who wants to go next?
I think I can go. For me, Parif itself, like what Lucas said, is built on family, which is why it's Parif stands for Parents for Education Foundation. So I think what I like about it is the parents are really involved in helping in the formation of their sons and daughters to the you know uh here in Northfield, especially here in Northfield, na the parents are really involved, supporting their sons during the activities. And one thing that our religion teacher told me, Sir Sagabayan, shout out, is that family is the basic unit of society. So if we want to live in a world, and for us future parents na rin, if we want our children to live in a world, that's peaceful, that's in harmony, we need to start at home. We need to start by fixing the family. So um for sportsmanship, I think I can connect it by saying na if um if we can keep a family close together, if we can keep a family close and not apart, then all the more you, they'll be able to bond, they'll be able to create a relationship that will last for who knows how long. And those relationships, they build on different things. And I think one thing um that you can, let's say, make baon from your family is the virtues. So the virtues na you learn at home, maybe the chores that you do, and one of those I think is sportsmanship. So yeah, I think you can really build sportsmanship at home, especially with your siblings whenever you play with them, and making sure that no fights, and talagang everything's peaceful at home. So I think, yeah, sportsmanship and in general all virtues start there.
Nice. I think most of your answers have been really jam-packed, if not intellectual. So, lagyan natin yung cherry on the top of that, Kobe.
You know, my answer was already said by these two. I mean, if you guys saw my reaction while
I
they
think
were
palusot mo lang
answering.
yan, Kobe.
Okay, so I believe that the focus is on family spirit because of the inspiration of Parif, which is Saint Jose Maria Escriva, who said that parents first, teachers second, and students last. So parents are our first teachers, as from the moment that we are born, even until now. They still act as teachers because they teach us lessons outside the classroom, because we don't learn everything inside the classroom, and when we leave the classroom, that doesn't stop us from learning more, because I believe that our parents are our root of our virtues, are the way we live our lives. It's all from our parents. We are inspired by them. And as for sportsmanship, what is actually the very definition of sportsmanship? It's, I believe, the fair and generous behavior or treatment of others. So, sorry. So through activities like the Vinta Cup, Family Day, Sports Fest, we get to show these virtues, not only sportsmanship, but all these virtues that we have learned from our parents, and we improve them through all these activities. Because when we play, like in the Vinta Cup, when you play team sports like basketball, football, and all those team sports, you learn new things, a lot of new things, because through experience, people have said that experience is the best teacher. So so through experience of meet not only meeting new people and learning, kasi I would have to say that in my years in Northfield, I have not lived, not exactly lived, but I have not done it to the fullest. So I think that if sorry, medyo nawawala, nade-distract ako eh. I'm sorry. Uh I'll go back to the sports thing. So when you meet new people in competitions like the Vinta Cup, you you get to see their own virtues as well, which they have taken up from their own families. So yeah, I got lost halfway through. I was distracted by something. I'm sorry.
Oxlam. But yeah, thanks for that, Kobe. I think all of the points that you've raised so far are very crucial to what this question tells us. But ikaw, Miggy, do you have anything to add, or Jello?
Well, first off, I'd like to say I regret not answering earlier because now even saying this is no longer original. But uh, one thing I do want to say, uh, a quote: hate begets hate, violence begets violence, toughness begets greater toughness, and we must meet the forces of hate with the power of love." I think this applies here, right? Having good sportsmanship, uh, even especially is especially important when it comes to fighting, going against people without said sportsmanship. Because I'd say it kind of rubs off, being a good sport, a good person. It rubs off on other people, and yeah, that's also kind of what the family spirit does. You know, we learn to we learn from each other the good things, bad things. We understand what what not to do, what how people react, and how to better, what do you call that? How to be a better person around other people. And that's all. Kigo, you're muted.
Thanks. Anyway, the one thing that comes to mind actually is another quote of Saint Josemaria, which he called the family a school of virtues. Because since some of you have already mentioned the very system of PAREF, how parents are first, not meaning students are not prioritized, because I mean, when I was a student, I understood it that way, na bakit students last? But yun pala, parents are formed first because they are the first formators or the first teachers of their children. I mean, we were not born with our teachers. But again, the parents and teachers go hand in hand, helping us to be really, really good Northfield gentlemen. And I've seen that as I've seen you guys grown when I graduated and now when I've returned, when I visited from time to time in Northfield still. So, in my own experience in relation to that family life and then sportsmanship, I think one of the few examples I can think of at the start of the pandemic was that sabi ko sa siblings ko. Sabi naman sa isa't isa, and this was actually without saying anything, no? Anong gagawin natin yung first month ng community quarantine? Hindi pa nga siya tawag extreme or enhanced community quarantine. It was just the first community quarantine and then we didn't know what to do. The first thing that came to mind, sige, laro tayong tennis. And then, a few days after, bawal na daw lumabas ng bahay. Bawal lumabas, sabi ni Kim Chu. And then, pagdating sa bahay, meron kaming lumang basketball ring na nilagay lang namin dun sa garahe. And then, next thing you know, kahit hindi kami marunong maglaro, except yung kuya ko, siya lang yung marunong talaga. As in, wala, laro lang kami ng laro, laro lang kami ng laro, laro lang kami ng laro, and we knew each other's virtues, we knew each other's strengths, but maybe this is one thing only, I think, Miggy emphasized, is that the weaknesses as well, the defects of each other's in the family, which is also very much important so that we can truly understand the dynamics in the family, how things work. But like what you guys said, I mean, you're really lucky. You're very lucky that Northfield puts such importance in how you are formed, not just here, because you can just keep saying, okay, parents first, teachers second, students last, or you can talk about all the virtues that was taught to you in religion class or in guidance sessions, whatever. But if you don't live the virtues and see how it works, like in, okay, JCL being talked about, but in Vinta Cup being practiced and with other people, kahit sabihin mo lahat kayo paref, all of you are boys schools with the same mission, the same charism, you will see each other's defects. You will experience each other's problems. I would say problems. I asked you guys, some of you personally, that ano, nagka-problema ba? I mean, meron bang nagkaaway sa Vinta Cup? And then some of you did not hesitate to mention a few things because it's naturally going to happen. Naturally be present in those things because I mean, even amongst yourselves in Northfield, I'm not, surprised. I'm not even scandalized to hear that there are problems, even just small things like yung mapapa-react ka na lang na ganyan kaliit, ginagawa niyo pa ng drama. Because it really happens. I mean, those things are part of life. And those are the very things like what you guys said. The experiences are the best teachers of the life that you guys, that I personally live. I mean, even until now, as a teacher, I learn more than what I teach. It's because those are the very things that I also personally have to learn from and put into practice. So I think lifelong experience. So yeah, I think to end this episode, unless you wanted to add something pa, is there anyone else who wanted to add anything? Because I'm going to connect it now to our
I think
go.
I can add one more. Uh, I like what Kobe said about the engaging in sports thing. Because whenever we engage in sports, we develop sportsmanship. And I think I realized something that when we're not with others, we really can't develop sportsmanship. Because like what Kobe said, it's like treating others the same way, no matter, I mean, in my definition, in my personal definition, it's treating others the same way even after loss, even after defeat, and playing fair, and yeah, having integrity throughout the game or the sport that you're playing in. And yeah, I think that's where true sportsmanship is built.
Yeah. And remember that all of these things, like if you talk about all the virtue, sportsmanship, family life, whatever that has to do with the PAREF system or why this is being emphasized again and again, all of it can only be possible if we have love. That's why Sir Fernandez said, love is infectious. That's why the dad of Lucas said, Mr. Ken Lamzon said, parang ABS-CBN, family is love. I mean, love starts there. If love isn't there, then yung sinabi ni Inigo na family is the basic unit of society, society will crumble if we don't learn how to love. And again, love is not the fuzzy feelings. It's not all the crushes that you can find and connect with in Discord or whatever platform you can ever think of. It's really the sacrifice that has to do with every single thing you're doing. Like imagine just to think of how your whole day went and you think nakakasenti naman. And then that happens again and again and again and again. Just imagine how you're really putting such prime to what you want to do and make that a part of what you can do for the sake of family life. So really, family is love. I think we should read through a lot of comments. Marami nang nagpaparamdam. Like, I think my own student Jordy wanted to say hi to Mr. Fernandez because, again, Mr. Fernandez just mentioned love is infectious. And then also shout out po to Mrs. Camaso who is tuning in as well. And even to our very own N. Kaboy, who said we can always learn from our parents and siblings because parents are our first teacher. So I hope you're doing well, Javi. And then who else can we read from our comment section, Jello? Baka may nakita ka dyan magandang i-share sa ating uh, stage.
Um, everybody is currently laughing now, sir.
Oh, really?
So,
Everybody's currently laughing. How? I mean, you
from
can
what I
select
see.
a comment there and then, okay, Inigo is so pogi. What else?
Uh-huh.
And then,
Um,
yeah, I think, I don't know
it's
the
still
context of
illegal,
this
sir.
comment. Oh my gosh, that's so true. But Santino says here, every student can relate. I think this has to do earlier with the question on appreciating the art of the culture of different countries, of different yeah. So there, I think those are the more substantial comments here. So yeah, maybe Jello, you can read our last question of the night.
For our last question, to conclude our questions for today, our last question is: what makes Forticast special for you? Uh-huh. That is our last question. Who wants to go first? I can
I
see
will
Mr. Lucas
start.
Anton
Okay,
raising his hand.
what
You may
makes
start.
Fortikast so special? Um, it's it's this people. Like it's the people. To be honest, like everyone makes it fun. Everyone like has his contribution to Fortikast, and it makes it so special. Makes it also makes it so fun. Like sometimes the constant arguments of some people I won't mention, the constant arguments of some people, in the group chats, in the Zoom meetings, whenever sometimes when we're late to submit requirements, because we're doing on schoolwork and all that, it I think it's the people that make it special, because without the people, what will Forticast be? It will just be a Facebook page in Facebook. What will it be doing there, diba? So really, it's the people that make Forticast what it is now. Like each and every one of the members have his contribution. Makes it why it makes Forticast so special. You know, so that's my reason. Like it's the people that makes it so special. Yeah.
Great. How about Miggy?
Well, I've got nothing deep, nothing flattering, nothing too important to say. I think all that really makes it special is uh, it's really funny. Just watching from every angle. It's always funny, and few things are this consistently entertaining. You know, but also not just entertaining. It's all sometimes it's insightful. It's but yeah,
Sometimes.
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 Sometimes. Well, we're getting there. As most
Yeah,
people
but
know here that we just restarted Forticast.
that's I think that's all.
Okay. Anything, Kobe?
Okay. So Forticast is special for me. First, I mean, Lucas already mentioned it. Nanakawan na naman ako ng sagot because of the people. So, a lot of you guys might think that outside Forticast we don't talk. Oh, wait, kasi Lucas already said it, but you might think na after episode we just leave and go on about with our lives. No, after episodes we usually stay to chat, ask each other how we're doing, magkulitan, mag-away. So it's more than just what you see in the episodes. The experience of Forticast for the past few months have been going really great, especially because of the experience. I have learned so much since day one, not just like the technical stuff in like hosting, in tech and all of that, but also a lot of things behind the scenes with the people. I got to meet and actually become friends with people I didn't expect to. People that I never talked to before Forticast. I mean, even Mr. Kiko Perez here. It was my first time talking to him when we started Forticast, and now we're here, nagkukulitan in the background. And yes, I suggest to everyone to try. Don't be afraid to try something new, whether it's like even like once a year. I mean, it doesn't have to be regularly. Kahit once a year lang, try something new that's outside of your comfort zone. And
Akala
who knows
ko
what
once a year Forticast na lang.
but
Okay. Thank you for that, Kobe. Very memorable. How about you, Inigo?
I think it's really what happens outside also, that the chemistry that we establish outside, which helps us work um regarding Forticast stuff. I mean, what Kobe said, we also it's not just Forticast. We don't just work. It's not all busy. It's not all uh puyat. It's also, um the friendships we grow closer to, people we don't really know, like uh Miggy, who, I mean, I barely knew before I joined Forticast. And yeah, and now there are many things that I can label him as, and there are memories with him in it. And yeah, it's truly the memories, the fun friendships, the kwentuhans, everything outside Forticast that makes it so special. And we still how we're still alive, actually, after how we were able to do this episode, even though, it's very busy for us. And yeah, I think that's really the secret of Forticast, the passion that runs behind it, which helps us, which which truly defines Forticast for me.
Well, my only reaction to that is what Mr. Bukaya commented. In ego we trust. Anyway, I think Miggy wanted to add after.
I was just gonna say, right? I forgot to mention. I think uh, another thing that really makes me special. I feel like uh, as a team, right? As a Forticast team, it's not just you know we're a team who does the official podcast and official work and all that, but more of just as friends. We chill a lot, we talk a lot. When we go out, we do very little anything useful, and we spend 90% of the time messing around. I think for an official Northfield thing, that it become it's special in that sense. It's a more relaxed, friendly thing.
Right. I just wanted to recall some of my memories when I started in Fortibus 10 years ago as a student, of course, was that majority of the members then were actually older than me. I think we were only four, five, six who were of my level, and they were mostly into the photography, taking photos for the paper then. But the moderator decided to place me rather in a different section that I had no idea what I was going to do. As in, when he asked me to be the managing editor and then a columnist and an online editor all at once, when I had nothing, really nothing, I knew nothing about Fortibus or anything like that. Sabi ko, anong gagawin ko dito? So I just said, okay. And then you'd be surprised again na, oh, kaya ko palang gawin to. And then, oh, sasamahan niya ako, tuturuan niya ako. So I think the key word there is that kind of accompaniment which the people now have witnessed because, again, I think key here is friendship too. So again, yes, it's a serious venue for formation, for learning about broadcasting and everything. But there's a lot of time, a lot of space, the sacrifice of one's sleep. No, I'm kidding. To get closer with each other, to become friends with one another, and then even without such many having the time to exchange really and get to know each other in a deeper way, you can already be a bit more friendly, I guess, in that sense. So in the words of Turtle Pro, how the tables have turned. So I'm just picking random comments to explain my points. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe Jello, since it's your first time being part of an episode so far, what comes to your mind now in being part of Forticast?
Um, Comes to my mind now in being part of Forticast. Well, um, like what Mr. Miguel Lopez said, it's a very relaxed. Well, I mean, not really relaxed. It's very stressful also, but relaxed at the same time because you know that you can talk to people, these people that you work with, like good coworkers, something like that, you know, um, and a very friendly environment. And I'm happy that I have joined Forticast. Wow. Yes. Wow. Yeah.
I think my only reaction to that is ano all. But anyway, thank you so much, Jello. I mean, actually, precisely the reason why I also decided to follow up that question is this is an invite for everyone in Northfield, especially those tuning in right now, that you can be a part of Forticast. Because like what most of the people here have said, they didn't know what they were getting into. And then they were only surprised that, wow, they can actually explore many things. And like what Kobe said, maybe at least once a year, try something new. But that could actually be every day. Try something new. I mean, get out of your comfort zone so that you can also get used to once you step out of Northfield, especially for those who are graduating or thinking of shifting when they get into senior high because they want to try some other environment or a different strand. Is that, again, precisely the reason why, especially for those moving out or still deciding at least, is that they want to try something new. And trying something new is always a good opportunity for each and every one of us. So, yeah. Jello, like like what's said here in our very own script. If you're interested in joining Forticast, you can approach me or you can approach Lucas for more details. So, maybe you can also comment in the comment section if you're interested so we can reach out to you. So, yeah. Any parting words, guys? Nothing?
I'd just
Uh,
like to
Go,
give a
Kobe.
quick shout out first to the sponsor of this mic, Mr. What? And of course to our Forticast staff that are not currently with us in the studio. So Matthew Amado, Johan Enriga, um, Javi Encarnacion, and of course to my classmates and to SEB.
Right. Thank you, Kobe. And I think I'd like to shout out to one of my friends before when I was a student, si Lance Valencia. Nice to see that Forticast is still ongoing from Lance. Thank you, Lance, for tuning in. So there. I think no one else is going to add. So we can end Jello.
Shout out.
Uh,
Can I give a
Go,
shout out?
shout out. Go, shout out.
Okay. Shout out to my classmates who are commenting nonstop about me. Inigo so pogi. Yeah. Shout out to my classmates. Shout out to the ones who aren't here. Aki, Johan, Matt, Javi, and yeah, the ones in the background, Rafi and Matthew. So also shout out to Kuya Javi who might be watching the stream because I kind of forced him to. So yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you again, guys.
Thank you to all our viewers for watching Forticast. This has been Kiko Perez and me, Jello Australia. Virtus in veritate. There is strength in virtue. This has been Forticast online. See you guys. Guys, say bye. Say bye to our viewers. Bye.